Good evening. This is episode 6, and before I say anything, I want to bring in my distinguished guests. Fantastic! We've got my normal partners, Robfuz and
Hey, guys.
Jim of More Sunshine, please, and we have special guests, none other than Dizney Dan from across the pond.
Hi.
And the glasses.
It's a new thing.
get
I
some
feel like
sound?
it's been a trend. Like it's a new thing. Like I don't know.
Jim, do you have an audio for Dan?
Let's
Wah,
see.
wah, wah.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go. Nice.
I have no idea what that means, but
Hey, Jim, do you have an audio for Rob?
I do.
There it is. I love it. It's like quite on many channels too, so it's kind of fun.
I'd like to welcome in everybody on the stream. So first off, Caitlin from Make It Blue, a Disney Adventure. Nice to have you here. Grace F. says she's got dinner in the oven. Nice to have you here. And of course, we've got Dizney Dan, Robfuz. We've got Donna Jaworski. Hello,
Hey,
Donna.
Donna.
Have you here? It's Joey's World. Hello, Lisa, Keith, and Joey. And we've got Alex Bruner. We have, and man, Captain Akron is here. Good to see you, Captain Akron, as always. And we're on at a little bit of a different time. So, guys, thanks for joining us. We definitely are excited about this. Is our 6th episode of the Fifth Gate, and we've got a cool thing planned for tonight. But before I get too far into it, Rob, could you kind of maybe tell everybody what this is about, what we've been doing for the last 6 months?
Yeah. Well, welcome everyone. Yeah, episode 6. I can't believe it. Thanks, Dan, for coming on today. Hey, I got full screen. Look at that. So the Fifth Gate is a series of shows we did here on the Live Place. If you guys haven't subscribed to the Live Place, please hit the subscribe button. And the 6 episodes we did was the first episode was the theme of the Fifth Gate. Jim and Dean and I came up with our own theme parks. If you haven't seen the episodes, you can go back and check them out. They're awesome. If I do say so myself, a lot of fun. So yeah, we came up with the general theme of the theme park. In the second episode, we created the theme park. I'm just looking at our notes here. We suggested specific attractions, rides, creative thoughts about what we can place in the park. By episode 3, we were starting to come up with a greatest hits concept of the Fifth Gate. What amazing rides we would throw in there. And then we did Retro Disney, episode 4. We went back and all our favorite stuff from Horizons, World Fair, the World's Fairs, all that kind of stuff. Last episode, we did the design, what kind of cinematic elements we would have, park elements like lighting and projection, stuff like that. And then this episode, the final episode, the 6th of the season, as Dean said, it's open forum. We want to know what you guys want to do. This is opening up to everyone. We want to know what ideas you guys would come up with. So, perhaps what would be your theme that you would have? We're going to do some stuff. We're going to chime in. We're going to kind of an improv kind of format. How would you design the park? What attractions you would include? Let's bring your imagination and let's, as Dean put this, let's create something truly spectacular. So I got lost there. I got nervous. You guys weren't there. So.
No, that was good.
Funny. So yeah, this is the open forum. Let's just have fun with this. So
exactly.
We've had a lot of people on here. I see Kyle's here. MGM Family Travel. Welcome. Captain Akron's awesome too. So thanks guys for coming. I appreciate it. So
yeah. Nice to have you here, MGM Family Travel and Kyle. And did I miss anybody else? Guys, I've got a little surprise planned, okay? But before I do, I feel like I always rush things. So I want to give you guys each a chance to share what are you up to and what's coming up for your live streaming plans. So Dan, why don't I start with you? What's going on with Dizney Dan?
Okay. Well, busy. Big screen. Rob, I know how you feel with the big screen now.
I'm scared.
I know, I am scared. So Disney Fiasco is my main show, which is Saturdays, 7 p.m. And we're on episode 97. So we are 3 weeks away from 100 episodes of Disney Fiasco, which is
Wow.
I can't even believe that. Now that I think about it, it's crazy. And then a couple of new stuff. I mean, we've got our brand new show, Disney Movie Review, which is with myself and Mouse Talk, where we choose a random movie out of, for some reason, a Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones pop box, and we review the movie like we used to do for Star Wars Sundays back last year. And we normally get like a special guest. So last week was the Mighty Ducks. So obviously we had Dougie because he's a massive fan of the Mighty Ducks. And this week is Beauty and the Beast. And I have someone in mind for that one. So we will be reaching out to that particular person probably tomorrow. If they would like to join us for Disney Movie Review, which is Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then I also have Disney Nuts, which is my show with the Adventures of Gonzo, which is Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. So that's a fun show where we do our Disney trivia. And then just other things, Disney Food Fridays on Fridays. I know it's been a bit crazy the last couple of weeks, so I'm trying to do it as often as I can. And then some other vlogs as well. So I'm very busy, very, very busy. So
You're a busy man. And I have a guess who the Beauty and the Beast person is, but I won't say.
I have a guess too, but I'm not saying either.
He knows it.
I ain't saying anything.
Based on the reaction when you announced what it was.
I'm not saying anything.
And I wasn't even there. All right. So, Jim, I want to ask you to do two things. Not only share about a little bit about your channel, but just give us a brief recap of your themed area of the Fifth Gate, if you don't mind.
Certainly. Thanks again for full screen. Thanks again for hosting this. This is awesome, and it's an honor just to be part of it. Let me start with my channel, I suppose. I have recently reached 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
I am nowhere near the watch hours I need for monetization. So what I'm doing is when I can, I'm going live in the afternoons. And I'm a teacher, so I've got my summers off, and that's providing me plenty of time to do that. So I do a lot of Sporkle trivia. One thing I did this week was prepare for a live stream I'm going to do where I am demonstrating my 360-degree camera. I'll be showing you the
Great
software that comes with it, and some of the cool things you can do with that software. And I'm looking forward to that. I still have to gather more things to put it together, but I'm looking forward to sharing that with everybody.
Nice.
I've been doing trivia, sketching. Disney Parks vlog had posted a bunch of videos on how to sketch certain characters, so it's been fun to do that as well. Yeah. So I'm trying to come up with content for a bunch of live streams, and I seem to be gaining. I'm doing it by percentage. I'm following my progress in percentages, and I seem to gather another percentage of the way to my goal every day or so. So sometime in July, I think I'll be there.
Nice.
So that's what I got going. And also, I'll be recording a video soon for your initiative, Dean, which was to try to come up with a viral video.
Excellent.
So I've got my idea for that I'll be recording very soon and sending your way. So
very good.
I got that as well. Now on to my idea for a Fifth Gate. And originally, and I thought it was a super original idea, and as it turns out, it was anything but. But it was a park called Disney's America, and it celebrated the United States of America. And the lands of the park were perhaps regions of the country, the Midwest, the Northeast, the Southwest, stuff like that. And with it, themed attractions. The one I was most excited about was a road trip attraction, perhaps with a Goofy movie theme. And throughout it, we would see Disney characters throughout the country that had a connection to that part of the country, like Brother Bear in Alaska, or was it Maine? I don't even remember. Never saw it. But the family from Inside Out in California, stuff like Orange Bird in Florida, stuff like that. So I was very excited about that, and people seem to be excited about that as well. But like I said, as it turns out, that's not an entirely original idea for an American themed park, but people seem to get a kick out of that, and there were other possibilities as well. I had another attraction, sort of a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but it had to do more with fishing in the Northeast, and perhaps some sort of cross between 20,000 Leagues and Maelstrom or something like that. So a lot of the fun of this series that we've done is brainstorming and bouncing ideas off each other. So I'm hoping to get more of that from the chat today.
Definitely. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you,
Rob. There's new people in the chat. I'll say hello to Margaret Nagy and Rally Creative Travel, which is one of the cruisers in the community now. Jeff and Angela from Dizzard Dream. I saw Mara in Memphis, and so anyway, welcome. And Robfuz, tell us a little bit about your channel and your idea.
Thanks. Before I forget too, Dean, congratulations on over 100 people featured on the live place.
Yeah.
110 people. It's awesome.
That's
Congratulations, Dean. It's so cool.
Very happy with that.
Very cool. Yeah. And Jim, I was busting his chops. So I was excited that you're going to do the 360 demonstration. That's cool. So I'm excited about that. So make sure you let me know when it's on. So I want to see it.
Thanks. We'll do.
So yeah, my channel's Robfuz. I've been fooling around. I've been saying I'm the self-proclaimed retro king of theme parks. So I've been doing a lot of retro videos and everything. I actually been converting. I'm working on these. I'm working hard on these videos. So for Universal Studios 30th birthday just passed, I'm gonna be putting these videos. I'm just converting them. A lot of cool stuff. Look how I used to decorate my VHS tapes. I'm so excited. I just found this stuff, and look at this. Come on, that cool sticker. So that's my channel. I have like a Presto Magic ET on the back too. Come on, that's awesome. So I found a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I'm just going through my tapes. I do a lot of cool retro stuff. I go live every Friday at 4:00. So I have these fine gentlemen on all the time too. So I have a bunch of different shows. Frankie Friday. I have a pub talk show. I have a retro show, and I have just a hangout show. So every Friday 4:00, and use my time to promote the live place. Check out theliveplace.com and subscribe to this channel, the live place. And Dreamers Empire. Dean is so amazing. He doesn't promote himself good enough, so I got to promote him. So thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me part of the live place, Dean. I appreciate you. I appreciate our friendship and our partner channels. You're awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. And I'm going to go on to my theme park I came up with. So, but by the way, your idea, Jim, was different than the one they proposed that was supposed to be Virginia. So I liked your concept. I loved your ideas and everything. So I loved a lot of your elements and a lot of your different things you had, which is really cool. So don't down yourself with that. It was a really cool park. So I loved, Dean, you got to do yours too when we're done too, after I've finished mine. But my park was called Disney Elements. So it was kind of different. The different parts of the different like lands would be fire, ice, water, metal, space. I don't know. I just threw everything in the kitchen sink in there. Just all my different concepts and everything. A villain section, a princess section, just a whole water park built into the park. Like the Marvel characters would be thrown in there, like a metal kind of concept. And I just had space. I just threw everything that I liked, that I love in a theme park. I just threw in there. So I'm just looking back at my notes too. So it's always fun to go back, and if you haven't seen our 50th episode, just to see all the different concepts we came up with and how they evolved and everything. So that's why I love about this show. I'm really excited about it. We're just going to let it go. It's kind of like, this is kind of like an experiment show. And with this concept today, with the thanks for putting you guys back. I felt so lonely. But yeah, that's what I love about the show. It's kind of like an experiment. We just we want to see your ideas. So start popping them in. Dean's going to be reading them. And we're just gonna have some fun. So, Dean, what was your park that you came up with?
So my idea was, and I got to stop myself. I'm ahead of myself here. My idea was called A Trip Through the Galaxy, and this is crescendoing to a moment for me right now. my little surprise, which is Jim came up with the Americas concept. Rob came up with the elements concept. Mine was a trip through the galaxy, which was like getting in a spaceship, going to another planet and experiencing things there from that perspective. I've renamed it Galaxies, and I wanted a one-word name, and now I'm going to share why. So I'm so glad Dan is here to help share in this experience. We've got something really cool planned. I am going to now share my little surprise with mostly Rob and Jim for what they did coming on board with me. I'm all choked up here. All right, here we go.
Thank you. Uh-oh. I'm excited. This is why you gotta love Dean.
Oh, whoa!
Nice.
Take a look at the fifth gate as imagined by Robfuz and
Nice.
Jim of More Sunshine and myself. And
Wow.
what you see here is obviously in the front center is Americas. I felt that that was really the center of this park. And then up in the upper right, you see elements, obviously, with the volcano and the water and so forth,
Wow.
and the ground thing.
Big E,
And then up in the upper left, you see galaxies.
That is so
And
cool.
if you've noticed, this is a TTA, so I'm actually going to bring it up front and center here. Hold on.
That's so
So this is like a something like a TTA or people mover going all around throughout the park. And if you see each boarding station has the letter of your park. So here's Rob's has got the E, mine is G, and then here was kind of clever is the A for Americas. So this drawing was something I wanted to do, and I didn't do it, but something to help us capture what we've done and help us to keep imagining what would you build into this park. If you look at it, and if I can't blow it up much further, but it's really got a lot of detail to it. And so anyway, that's my little surprise for you guys.
That's awesome. Is
That's
that
so
TTA going underwater over there?
Yes.
It's so cool.
That's amazing.
I love it. I'm looking at the concept, America part. The America part is shaped like the United States. If you look at that,
The
It's so
mountains
cool.
are a little out of place, but they kind of had to do that because this was in the middle here.
that
It's
the,
so
the
cool.
volcano reminds me of Journey from the Center of the Earth over at
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's incredible.
So cool. Very cool.
So this allows us, if we do continue, and we were talking before stream, are we going to continue with this? We think we will. We'll probably take a little time off, but maybe by this fall we'll be meeting again. So the idea today, folks, is we're going to go around the horn. We're going to let people in the chat suggest some ideas. And so we don't know how this will go, but anyway, thanks for that, Mara in Memphis. Yeah, it was this is a lot of fun here. So I don't know how to do this quite, but what we're going to do is let you in the chat start suggesting, do you have any ride ideas or any restaurant thoughts that we could build into this park? Do you have any shows or just themed lands that you would put into here? So what I'm going to do is I am going to go like this. Nice.
I love Dean.
Okay, we got. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start by putting Dan up.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, we're going to have that issue. Sorry, Dan.
Right. Dan's side.
Not helping, Dan. There you go.
So, here's an idea: a glass underwater tunnel. What shall we say?
I just firstly want to point out that if any Disney executives see this, that all of this is claimed by the live place, and you've got to go through copyright for this because this is brilliant. And Bob Chapek, all rights go towards Dean from the live place. A glass underwater tunnel is see the creatures in the lagoon. I think you know what? There's something very unique, special, seeing life underwater. I mean, I think a lot of you know that the Seas with Nemo and Friends is one of my favorite rides, surprisingly. just because I love sort of the tech behind it. I love the fact that you're pretty much looking inside a tank. And I think just blowing that up and make it sort of like you said, maybe with the TTA kind of thing, going through underneath this long tunnel. You know that when you go to like aquariums and you see that tunnel that you walk through? I think that on a much grander scale. And all the creatures that you can have in there. I mean, heck, let's put sharks in there. Let's put a beautiful coral and just the way that Disney can with the brightness. I think they could do.
If I can just say, seeing the idea as the lower third under Dan's face, I can't get Jaws 3 out of my head. And
see, I'm thinking
we'll build it better. We'll build it better than they did.
I'm thinking
we're accounting for 2-ton sharks, but I think that's an awesome idea. I think we all realized that me involving sharks and Jaws was going to happen at some point. But I think it would be such a clever idea to have that sort of tunnel that you would see in an aquarium on a much grander scale with that ride. You know how I think about it? You know that scene in the TTA where you go inside Space Mountain and you see pretty much the whole of Space Mountain? I think you could have that, but filled with water and sea life and just make it look so stunning. And I think it's a great idea, Ma. I really think it's a great idea and something unique that you won't find at any other park. I agree. And all of those aquariums that have a feature like this, they're all walk-through. This one, we're riding through it.
Yeah. Well, that's good to combine the TTA with the ride. That would be awesome.
The original plans for the Living Seas had a tubular tunnel like that so that it would have that effect and you were going through the water and seeing all the sea life around you.
Well, they kind of had some of it, but I think they're just windows you look in, right, as you go. I guess it was cheaper to make it that way. So. See, Dan should have got this one.
Well, you can both comment on it.
I will add something after Rob.
Okay. I'd love to see a cowboy diner in America. Eat outdoors. Cooking is done in open flame, very rustic as Disney gets. Set kind of a menu, chicken or something. Or ribs, steak, corn on the cob, etc. Yeah, Grace, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
I would definitely make this a character interaction restaurant. The only problem is if it's in Florida, if it rains, you're out of luck. So maybe you can combine the concept from the last idea.
Well,
with this one where there's a dome and you're under the dome,
exactly. Or a can
into a barn.
What was that?
We move it into a barn.
Yeah. Here we go. See, I love this. I love when we interact like this. So the barn is a good idea. The barn would be a huge barn, but it would be glass. It would be see-through. Then you would enter through the go ahead, Dan. I'll give Dan some of this. I want to hear what he said.
Sorry.
He's the food king, if you guys don't know.
Not only is that a great idea, but Disney are already one step ahead of you. Because Buffalo Bill's Wild West show at Disneyland Paris, because of all places you would have an American-style cowboy restaurant in Paris. Makes no sense. It's a real thing. It's called Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show with Mickey and Friends. Holster and gallop to the heart of the Old West from the biggest Disney dinner show in Europe. And it's a Tex-Mex restaurant dining show. It's almost like what it looks like from here. I actually haven't done it. It looks like a bigger, grander version of the Hoop-De-Doo review, but all cowboys and western and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey Dan, did you ever do Mickey's Backyard Barbecue in Fort Wilderness?
Oh yes.
Is this anything like that? I've never done it. I've only heard the name.
It's Mickey's Backyard Barbecue is it's pretty much just it's pretty much like just going to your family's barbecue sort of thing, but Mickey's there and it's great. But this is a full-on show. Like this is like going to I don't know what it's called. but you know, there's that place in Orlando with the medieval
Times. Yeah.
Medieval times. This is pretty much a similar kind of thing, except you got Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and Chip and Dale, and it's like Old West kind of thing. So yeah, so it's very similar to that. So yeah, Disney actually already have, and I would love to see this in like Frontierland or especially in this kind of park that we're creating right here. I think it's brilliant. So
yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. That's so cool. It totally is the medieval time style with the different things. So
it's really cool. I like
the different tiers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 10 rows that you see people. Very cool.
Trying to catch up here.
Very neat.
So we've got Carlos in the house. Hello, Carlos.
Can I interrupt here a sec?
Yeah.
I'm going to put Dan on the spot too. I forgot. I wanted to see Dan just I don't know where I was thinking about this. If you had your park like we had our 3 parks, what would your park kind of be in about 30 seconds or less? I'm looking. So is that all right, Dean? I want to hear what Dan has a concept or anything. Did you ever think about it, or Dan? You don't have to answer now if you don't want, or you can think about it. We can get back to you.
Can I make some notes?
Yeah, definitely. As we go, I want you to just see. This is how good Dan is. He can on the fly. He can just come up with the different stuff. So that's why I wanted to post that, and then we'll come back and we'll ask Dan. So
okay.
You know, one idea that did come out of an earlier episode was from Doug from Pepper Tree Villa, and his idea was a park called Disney Seasons. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And, each land in the park was a different season, and I thought that blew my idea out of the water. I thought that was amazing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and even walking from one land to the next, you could, it could be gradual. And please, everybody, go back and watch the episode with Doug from Pepper Treeville or wherever that idea came from. God, I thought that is a legit great idea. The summer, the land where we celebrate summer is a big county fair or whatever he said, and there's so many possibilities. Blizzard Beach kind of already has winter down. We kind of bring that in, amend it a little bit. So you can celebrate winter in 95-degree Orlando. It's possible.
Hey, what concept I like is kind of like building on that, Jim, like kind of shuffling up the stuff. Like when you get like that mini golf course at Disney World, and they have Santa Claus in the beach, like and with the Summer Wonderland. Maybe you could mix up the seasons, Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And that's not new to Disney. I mean, the Nightmare Before Christmas combines stuff. Blizzard Beach combines stuff. The Winter Summerland mini golf is combining things like that. So, that's it's been done, and we just do it on a grander scale. Kudos to Doug. That was awesome.
By the way, we have zero budget in these ideas, so
that's gonna
or unlimited budget.
Yeah, I remember Jim had his budget, or Dean had the budget in his note, and it was a lot of numbers. And
it's a blank check.
What comes after trillions? Cajillions? I think the budget was
Cajillions. Yeah.
Cajillion.
All right, and Annie Oakley sharpshooter, bull riding and calf roping. That's part of that Western experience right there. I like that.
Wow.
All right.
Just sign a waiver before you do it, like the scuba diving in Typhoon Lagoon.
Don't you think, Jim, that the seasons kind of worked well with the Americas? Wouldn't you just kind of...
Absolutely. Of course, the South and the West could be your summer lands, the Northwest or however you divvy up the country like that. Maybe the winter could be the Rocky Mountains or something like that, and the Northeast is celebrating autumn. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea, combining those.
I think so. Okay, Caitlin here.
I think Dean should take this one.
Okay,
I'll actually. But...
I'll start. I would like to, so this is Caitlin. I would love to make a version modernized of Progress City to allow one of Walt's dreams come to life. Well, So having studied Walt's original plans for Progress City and what Epcot was going to be, yes, I think the problem I had with it was I don't think you can let people live there. I know that a lot of people would have liked that, but it just sounds to me like it would be too limited and too reclusive, you know. So other than that, the way the transportation was supposed to work and that everything is sort of built around a center hub, I did love that. So yeah, that would be. Where would you put that here? You would you would have to build another land.
You see that cloud in the background on the top in the middle? That's the expansion part. That's what they. I love whoever made this, by the way. An awesome job. But like I remember Disney World and Disney Maps. Whenever they had a future thing, they would put trees there or clouds there or whatever. So that's where it would be, right up there. So.
Definitely.
Anybody else? I've got an idea. Sorry.
I love that you're doing it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. And I think you're right. I think the concept of someone living there forever is just kind of, I think you're right, Dean. I think that's to get rid of that part. But maybe, it seems like what was Celebration? That never really worked. They had people there too. It was obviously not the futuristic town like
sure.
Like Walt said, but that's a whole nother subject. But maybe the concept, they are coming up with stuff with like the space restaurant and the Star Wars hotel and everything. Maybe you can have those kind of like I love the movie Total Recall, where like you have that experience where you go and do something, whatever. So here's my concept based on this. I would do Progress City, and it's kind of like Total Recall. You kind of pick your adventure. We could kind of incorporate. You could put a Western in there, like Grace said with the restaurant. You could put, all the different IPs and stuff like that. A Marvel experience, whatever. And you would have to. It's not. It would be an experience kind of in itself, like Star Wars, and you would just have to go, and it's like a 4-day commitment. So you kind of live there, but it's only for 4 or 5 days. So how's that? I'm adding to it. So Jim,
I agree. Living there wouldn't probably be all that you maybe think it would be, but in the original model of Progress City, you've got coming out of that central hub, you've got spokes, the mass transit system coming out, leading away from the hub, and that's where a city like Celebration could be. Celebration, it wasn't supposed to be Progress City, but rather a community that had certain ideals to it. For example, the houses. Many of them have the wraparound porches to encourage people sitting on their porch in their yards, talking to each other, fostering, that sense of community. They've got God, I haven't been there in years, but they have some sort of downtown area, don't they? A little bit. I don't even know. I may be making that up, but an area like Celebration could be, at the end of one of those elevated trains you see coming out of Progress City. It's silly
park. Progress City is another park.
Progress City. But yeah, you could combine those two. Progress City to Celebration, surrounding communities like that.
Yeah. That's kind of along that lines. I'm kind of going off a different track here, but in Minneapolis we have North Star Rail, which is a train, and what they did was they built apartments near the boarding stations of this train. So you could, if you want that jet set lifestyle where you're just getting out of your apartment and you're hopping onto a train and you're in the city within 15-20 minutes. We do have that here in Minneapolis. So
it's not a people.
All right, Dan, you said you had.
Well, hold on a sec. Dan, did you have anything to add to this concept too for the Progress City?
I just think it's such a clever idea that in terms of what Walt believed, Walt was a futurist. And I think, he always believed that people should be living in harmony in the most perfect city. And with, adding these concepts in like the train and the progress of how life should be lived, I think this is a no-brainer. I think Walt knew things far beyond his years, and I think this is a no-brainer. I think I think you got it nailed it right on the head there with all the concepts regarding Progress City. I'd love to see a full Progress City in the world somewhere. I think it's what I think would, be so incredible to see.
Well, someday we might have to. It depends, but you've got to build your cities to handle the population growth, and that lends to technology and advancement and the kind of vision I think that Walt had. So
yeah, because even like Charlie was saying from Disney Nerd Herders, he build up? Wasn't his concept that you're just going to build up? That's it. Just keep building and stacking. That was one of our episodes we talked about building and stacking.
And what planet from Star Wars does that remind you of? Anyone?
Oh, the one with
Romulus. No.
Not Romulus.
No.
Bespin City? I don't know.
Oh, Vulcan.
No. From Star Wars. Did I say Star Trek? No.
No. I'm messing. I'm messing with you guys.
Coruscant.
Ah,
Star Wars 2. There wasn't an inch of land available. It was completely built up. All right, guys, I got lost in the comments here.
Oh, good. Well, you look for another concept, and you want to let Dan go. You ready to go, Dan?
I think I'm ready to go.
I'll put you on the spot here. I love that.
You want the map or not?
This is
This is something his concept.
This is the park. I think someone asked for my park.
Yep. Okay.
So
Yeah.
when you think, the first two things that I wrote down, I made a lot of notes. Actually, the first three things I wrote down was life, celebration, and Toon, as in like Toontown. I took a lot of inspiration from Toontown.
So cool.
And I think, we have celebration of the world in Epcot. We have the celebration of film and the creation of film and animals in Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. And Magic Kingdom is sort of a celebration of childhood. I feel like when you think of Disney, I think the first thing people think about is the films, more specifically the animated films. And my park is a celebration. Actually, it's going to be called like Disney's Celebration of Animation Resort.
Nice.
Celebration of Animation Resort. It's not going to be like Arts of Animation, where it's kind of like looking at how something is made. It's more of a celebration of the entire sort of work of art that not just Walt Disney, but the company has grown from, is starting off with Alice's Wonderland and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, right to, where we are now with Frozen 2 and whatever. And the way my map looks, I'll just quickly show you very quick. It's like a storyboard. And that's how I don't think anybody has ever created a theme park like a storyboard. And it's very simple. So it's not obviously very, straight or anything. It's a square, and you enter from the start, and there's going to be lands on either side, like cells of a storybook. And down the middle, you're going to have sort of a black and white sort of theming. And as you move out into your lands on this big film sort of
That's so cool
script, you're going to enter different ages of Disney animation. So you're going to start off, maybe the first ones you come across is the Golden Age and the Wartime Age, where you have Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, where you have Pinocchio, where you have Bambi, Fantasia, Make My Music, and The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, and Pecos Bill. and then as soon as you move down your timeline, down your script, your you know the your reel of film, you get to the end where it's like the revival era and the new era, where you have lands like Big Hero 6 and Frozen and Moana and Wreck-It Ralph, and they don't have to be sort of, they're almost like pavilions in Epcot, where they're just a bit of a celebration of, and it's pretty much just like a big storybook of full of Disney animation, and you're celebrating films that people may have heard of, like like Beauty and the Beast and The Lion King, to films that people may not have come across before, like Make My Music or Fun and Fantasy Free, or Treasure Planet or Atlantis: The Lost Empire. I'd love to see like a celebration of Atlantis. That's a great film. So, and I think it's a celebration to Imagineering and animation, and so that's kind of my thing. It's kind of a little bit different, where it's not just like a hub design, but it's more just like a storybook.
Yeah,
and a celebration from the start of Disney animation right through to where we are now.
I mean, what better way to nod all that Disney has been for how many years? How long ago was Oswald? That is a fantastic idea. I would like to experience it like it's a whole story, and the whole day brings me through all the different things you talked about in order.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. The way Dan was describing it was kind of like a black and white world, and then it expands into color. Like that's the way I was envisioning it.
Yeah, so the black and white, and then it expands outwards.
Very cool.
Widthways, but then lengthways in front of you is that storyboard where you see the progression of 2D animation and animation on page to the CGI, the 3D sort of animation we get now. So that's kind of where I see.
That's a cool concept. The page, like a page, is kind of opening up, and
yeah,
that'd be cool.
That's amazing. That's a great idea. And on a smaller scale, if you were to have a parade in a land like that, it could be similar. Starting out early and then working your way.
What's that restaurant in on the Disney Cruise Line?
Peyton Inn Club or something.
Yeah. Oh, what's it called? Artist
Palette. Artist Palette.
Where they start the parade right at the beginning, all black and white, and then by the end, it's all in color.
Wow.
That'd be so awesome.
So cool. And they could serve food and
Oh, there it goes. It was only a matter of time before he mentioned foods.
There are, when you were explaining it, Dan, so many different current things came to my mind. Elements of the great movie ride, elements of art of animation, like you said, which is a small touch on that kind of thing. The whole history of it. So yeah, I love that.
Very cool. Good job, Dan.
All right, we've got another one here.
So I knew Dan could handle. That's why I gave it to you. King.
All right, whose turn?
Jim.
Jim, you ready?
Sure.
Put you on the spot. This is from.
I would
King.
make a cast member area that the ideas of the rides, shows, and restaurants come from the cast. Nobody better understands the park than these cast members. I think this is the seed of a great idea. I think when we hear of CEOs walking the parks, to see how things are going, they're only doing what these cast members do every day. Who better knows what works for a particular attraction than these cast members? I think they need to work in conjunction with Imagineers and, certainly keeping budget in mind. It's fun for us to just create whatever ideas we have, and then other people work to make that happen. So these cast members come up with these ideas, and then it's molded by other teams. I think that's brilliant, and I think it could make for a a more fluid park going experience. I think lines could be tweaked. Ride queues could be improved. I think dining experiences could learn a lot from what cast members have to offer. I never thought of that before right now, but that seems like a no-brainer. That seems like a fantastic idea. And I don't know, I've never been a cast member, but is there a suggestion box of sorts that Disney has where they do listen to cast members? I don't know of such a thing because I've never been employed by Disney, but if they don't, they should. I think a lot of great ideas could come from this.
Dan, do they have a suggestion box from cast members?
Who's a cast member? I mean, I put the suggestion in not to, pay for water, but you can't win it all.
That was you.
They've got a wanted sign for me now in there. No, I'm kidding.
She answered your own question, by the way.
I mean, so I think it would be kind of cool to have something like that, and I think, like you said, Jim, like there's so many suggestions that cast members have, especially ones who are actually in the parks themselves, that can really think about what could make the parks better. And I feel like if there was a suggestion box or something that they could do, I think it would be taken into consideration. But I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see it.
Well, this whole concept in terms of the auto industry, for example, Japanese automakers are open to suggestions from their employees on the floor, those on the assembly line. And what that does is they take into consideration and they can implement it if they deem it beneficial to the entire company, and it makes the whole company better. American auto companies don't necessarily do that, or they never did before. Maybe they're doing it now, and they've learned a bit from their Japanese friends. But I
think it's Disney.
Why would you turn that idea stream off? Why would you negate that? It seems like they've got something to offer. I think this is.
Well, I think the reason is because Disney is such a massive corporation that they must get suggestions all the time from guests and cast members, and I think some of these suggestions they may take on board, but some they just physically can't. I mean, there was something that was going around this week that I think a lot of guests suggested, which I think is crazy, which we're not going to get into, obviously, but logically things just won't happen because they don't have the time or the funds or certain budgets or anything. So I don't know. I think it could work, but
I like the thought that Jim kind of suggested of the Imagineers. Sort of, it almost made me think of people in the parks having some input into things. Like you say, Dan, it can only go so far, and there's always budgets and so forth. But just that sense that it's evolving a bit. And just to throw this in here from Grace, your day throughout the park tells the story. Your story can change every time you go based on, say, which direction you go or what rides you go on. So just that dynamic aspect, I think, of building that into the park. So you feel like you're part of something that you're building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
I used to love those books when I was a kid.
And of course,
Jim
that'll
did too.
remind Rob of our favorite Horizons attraction. Choose your adventure at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Okay. What is this, Rob? What's this one saying? Animator's palette. What is that?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
No, that's the restaurant on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Oh, on DCL. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute here.
Yes. Bring back Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Absolutely. Dan, your park could be home to all of these rides that we know and love and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have a lot of rides, in Magic Kingdom, well, in all of the parks that are, we don't really want to take out, but stuff that have gone, like Mistletoe's Wild Ride, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, if we wanted to have a live action section or something like that, I think that would be something quite interesting to have.
Yeah.
And, I think it would be quite cool.
Well, dance could be a celebration of the movies and characters and celebration of parks past too. Yeah, you can incorporate that into.
Or even if you were to show movies in your park, Dan, the early movies could be something like what the Mickey Mouse Review used to be.
Yeah.
And then as we go throughout the park and our movie technology is improving, then we have something that's more like Muppet Vision 3D or Captain EO or something like that, a 4D experience.
It's like the Carousel of Progress, but with animation.
Yes,
as a
Good point.
Very cool.
It's a display, and it's in itself. It's absolutely.
Where's Bob Iger? Come on, pick this up.
Rob,
Yes, sir.
what more would you do here?
What our park?
Elements here. What were you like envisioning would be? Give us a little bit of what you would build into elements.
Oh, and what they have there, the concept.
Yeah.
I love it. It's there. The fire, earth, everything's there. So, obviously it's not on a detail scale, but it's I love it. I love Disney Seas, as you guys know. I've been there. That just the mountain there just takes it. It's just so cool. So let me look at some of my notes here, what I had in there. So see if I can come up with some more stuff in the thing. Hold on a sec. Let me pull this up here. Oh, you took the map out. I got to rewind here.
Didn't I? Sorry.
It's all right. I have it up on my screen here. So, it's there. The fire, the ice, with the mountains, the water. I think it would be more to the right, the water part. Well, the water's everywhere. So, just the element with more of the metal part. You took care of the space part, so we don't need the space part. So,
did you notice the this water area here in like the very center is meant to have a nighttime water show?
The water show, yeah, so cool.
Yeah. That's part of your elements.
I love it. Oh yeah, definitely. I love too the Golden Gate Bridge going into Jim's area. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Love the concept. So. This park is so huge. It's bigger than the United States of America. That's how big this park is. So it's on scale.
All right, I'm going to remove this. So just for people in the chat, we're just sort of building on our park here, and you're welcome to throw in your suggestions. Here's one from Charlie. Rob, can you take another one?
Yeah. Oh my God, this is great. Charlie's a great idea. I would like to see more Walt-centric experiences. Like make a recreation of Walt's apartment above the fire station, but have it be a walkthrough so the regular people can view it. Yeah, Charlie, I think that's a great idea. I would even, I really don't feel that Walt Disney is represented really well in the parks. I know they have Walt Disney Presents in the studios, but I think that'd be a great idea. I'm love going to Disneyland, love kind of walking in Walt's footsteps, and that would be the name of the ride, Walking with Walt. Isn't that great? I just come up with different stuff. So maybe
I just think though, I think it's a great idea, but we are fortunate nowadays to have the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. So I mean, obviously it may be something different, but at least like we have something like that to, if we want to get our Walt fix, that's I think as close as we're going to get to something like this at the moment. I think for now,
somewhere a Walt Disney animatronic exists. Would that be so awesome? Club
Yeah.
33 for non-rich people, regular people. Yeah, that'd be great. I'm so dying to go to Club 33 one day. I love the concept. The
You
way,
have
just the
to be
history there and everything.
Arnie said the other day that they had been there many times. I thought you had to be invited by a member.
Yeah, they were. They were invited by members. So
Oh,
you know,
they were.
they are not members, and they're like they have friends and you know people that they know that are members, and yeah, that's how they were invited. So yeah, so cool. I love it. So shaded moving sidewalks with misters mic drop. What is that? Shaded moving sidewalks with misters. What's misters? Oh, what misters? Oh, like cooling. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Joey
Oh,
Crew.
yeah.
Yeah, misters. Like yes, very
Not
cool.
like Mr. Men.
No. Well, go back to that. Pull the thing back up again, guys. Well, you don't really need it though. But how would you? I like Dan's idea with the museum and everything, but like in a theme park, and you know, I love rides that just move a lot of people. You know, Dean said it before, like World of Motion or whatever, just a high capacity, no wait ride, and it would just have the history of Walt and everything, and you know, just see all the different concept of. I think the history of Disney is very interesting, very cool.
See, I've always, said that I feel that, Walt Disney Presents or One Man's Dream, whatever you want to call it, I feel it belongs in Main Street USA.
Yeah, definitely.
Main Street USA, that is, a representation. Well, the one in Disneyland is a representation of Walt's hometown. The one in Disney World is representing the turn of the century out in the Midwest, but still, it's still very much like that was of Walt's time. And I feel like there's no better place for something like that to be for One Man's Dream. I mean, you could have, where the Mickey Mouse Review, kind of thing have, or where the, there wasn't that like a movie theater on Main Street or something in Disneyland or something? Or
Yeah.
my game, my effect. Yeah. So I don't understand why they can't have build, where the West Center Street is by where Pandora is now and Starbucks. There's that sort of side street. There's plenty. Yeah. There's actually plenty of space behind there.
Yeah, they were going to put a theater there.
There's plenty of space behind there, and I know that because I got stopped by a security guard back there. Long story. I saw there's a lot of space, and I feel like that is a sort of a perfect spot to have, an attraction or a show or just almost just like an homage to Walt's life.
Yeah. If not that, it just I'm thinking. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry about that, Jim. The brain's always working. It's just Walt the musical. There's the show right there, just called Walt. And there was a lot of trials and tribulations with Walt Disney. I hate to be a sour grapes, but I don't know. Like, I admire the man and everything. I don't know what kind of a person he was, to be honest with you. I heard he was very, very stern, and maybe that's not a bad thing to see, I don't think. Sorry, Jim, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, in Detroit, where I'm from, they have actually Dearborn, Michigan, where they have a place called Greenfield Village. And in this place, they have brought in buildings, actual buildings, from around the country that are of historical note. They have Thomas Edison's Menlo Park Laboratory. They have the Wright Brothers Bicycle Shop. They have Noah Webster's house, the dictionary guy.
Like recreations.
Other things. And it's cool. You can just walk around and you are seeing all of this history, American history, in this one place. And it's authentic. And it seems, if we're talking about Charlie's idea, that they could do something similar in a Disney park. It seems a shame that it's not in a Disney park. Why not celebrate the man where most of his fans are going to be? I mean, not to take away anything from his hometown or San Francisco, but I know they have One Man's Dream. They have his school desk. Stuff like, they have little trinkets and little things, but to have maybe, something more substantial as an area in a park to better celebrate them would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I like Kyle's idea in the chat there. Replace great moments with Mr. Lincoln and with great moments with Mr. Disney. Walt teaches you about the story of the park history. That'd be cool. It's a good idea, Kyle. Very cool. Yeah, what is that place, Jim? Someone said they heard about that place. What what
It's called Greenfield Village, and there's actually a museum there as well.
Cool.
It used to be called Henry Ford Museum, and now I think they just call it the Henry Ford or something like that. But and in the museum they have JFK's final motorcade vehicle, and they have the chair Lincoln was assassinated in.
Yikes.
I mean, they have happy things too, but I'm just thinking of the things I can remember. But
wow. Okay.
But all of this history is in one place, so it just got me to thinking if we're going to celebrate.
I've been to Ford's Theater, and I've been to the location where JFK got shot, so I guess I can't criticize that. So just by chance, where I was in these places, so, but watching it when I was a kid. But yeah, it's crazy. I like that. I've actually been to I've been to Edison's museum, and I've been, the I can't think of the Edison in that big arch thing is actually in New Jersey. They replicated the Edison Memorial in Edison, New Jersey. So, and I've been to his laboratory, and they have where they first filmed movies, the big Mariah, the something Mariah, where it would be on a turntable, and they would turn it where the sun was, so the sun would be perfect when they film stuff. So he was a genius. A lot of that stuff would be cool. A lot of that stuff would be great for your park that you were coming up with. Like something like that would be neat. I like that. See, the ideas keep churning out. I love it. Very
Here's
cool.
an interesting side fact. I did a trivia the other night, and you guys might know this already, but how long did it take to build Disneyland? Who knows?
It was quick. Wasn't it like under a year or something?
Yeah, it was like 10 months, 9 months.
It was 1 year and 1 day.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't done.
It was
opening day.
A lot of troubles. I wanted to get Russ's comment up here. Piggybacking on the idea of Walt, I would like to see more on the innovation that Walt loved, especially in Tomorrowland and Future World at Epcot. Not everything has to be IP, space travel, art, etc. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we say that all the time, especially on this show. Like everything does not have to be an IP. And I've said it every single show, and I love what Dean says. Did you just say it, Dean? You might have just said it. The wonderment. I love the wonderment of it. So love that word. So
I felt a lot of wonderment for Dan's new area.
Yeah.
I just felt like that's what that captured.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of good comments in there. Pull them up there, Dean.
Yeah, I'm trying to find some here. Here we go. Here's Kyle. We did that one already, right?
Yep, that's awesome.
What am I missing here?
A lot of good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Walt was a smoker. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I wish he wasn't, but
it's kind of what got him, right?
Yep, pretty much in the end. Yep. A lot of great stuff. Like we keep talking about stuff. Hey, Laurie, welcome to the show. Just I love Disney Plus. I just got to give it another plug. It's just so much cool stuff. There was just something new, but with Walt and talking about this kind of stuff. But, so I feel that Disney Plus is giving Walt a lot of credit and a lot of history stuff. We're obviously we're Disney fanatics, and we love Disney so much and everything. And I hate to say it, but maybe this is definitely unlimited budget, and for the Disney, our ideas are for the Disney fan, hands down. You know what I mean? So I don't know if a lot of stuff would fly, in the general consensus of the theme park goer, but I don't know. I love it. So
that's interesting, Rob, because some of the most popular ideas are bringing back those rides that we miss, and that fireworks shoot off when you mention that in our show. But yeah, for the general public, I don't know. You're right. I never thought about that, but for the casual, I don't know if they'd love it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I always say, don't mess with our childhood memories. I think that's what it is. So we talk about
that. Schoolhouse Rock is now on Disney Plus. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Schoolhouse Rock.
You put it on, and then like the quality of it's like, wow. they need to redo it or restore it or something. But
no,
put it on.
The music's fantastic, but
that is so cool too. It's a good point, Jim. And like they did such a great job. Like I could literally, I've started seeing those when I was like 6 or something, and I could literally sing a lot of the songs. It was so genius the way they made that. So I love Kyle's comment. The Imagineering story is pretty much the main reason I still have Disney Plus. I've watched it at least easily 10 times. Yeah. I've only gone through it once, and I really do need to go back. I was just watching the Prop Master again. Is that the Prop Masters? Is the name of the show?
Culture, yeah, that's
Prop
brilliant.
Cultures. Thanks.
That was great.
Really good.
Keith says, have an interactive museum dedicated to Walt and also have the kid stuff that Walt would have liked. Yeah, he was so dedicated to, his daughters in that way. So
yeah, definitely.
Here's a comment for Dan.
What about creating a themed area for the college program kids and make the apartments Disney themed and make the buses comfortable and actually useful? I agree on the latter half of that, because those buses either broke down, were late, or caught fire. So I'd love to see comfortable buses, and I think having Disney themed apartments for college programmers, I think it's a very cool idea. In some ways, I think it would be cool, but then also I think we would still also need to be a bit more human as well. And I don't think being under Disney for 6 months with Disney everywhere wouldn't be the.
You would love it, Dan. Who you kidding? You would love it personally, but maybe not the typical person.
Who am I? I was trying to be devil's advocate.
Hey, no need on this show, Dan.
That'd be so cool.
Russ's
this is a great comment.
Top off part of their heads. Okay, Robert, Jim.
I'll take it if you don't mind. How about a park using the new volume technology that used to film in Lorraine, which I love, as you guys know. We talked about it in the last show, like some of the elements and the different stuff and everything. I love that concept, Russ. The setting and feeling can change in a second for each guest, and anything you can dream up can become real. Yeah, just like I said, the Total Recall thing. I'd love to see that. I think the new Bourne attraction in Universal has this technology. Jim, did you hear anything about it? I know it's in rehearsals. I think they do. Like I saw a tweet about it or anything. I've noticed a couple of people seen it, like they're doing rehearsals and everything, and it looks pretty cool. I'm excited about that. I'm not a huge fan of I'm not. I like the movies and everything. I just haven't really seen much or give it much attention. But Russ, I agree with you. Like I said, I think the new Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad use that kind of technology. It's just, obviously it's consistent, but something that ever changing and ever would be different experience would be amazing. I think that's so cool.
So after Spaceship Earth, when you make all your selections, and then they, instead of coming up with a video that you watch in your ride vehicle, you exit the ride vehicle, and instead of that map that has everybody's heads with chunks sticking, out of it, that's where you have the volume. That's where you have that staging area. And so instead of a little video on a tiny screen, you can now be immersed in whatever you've chosen.
Yeah, Stephen Kyle said it too. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about it, but yeah. I want to see that. I'll take it one better, Jim. Before you go, your experience, you would have to answer. Look, I don't know if anyone's going to do this, but as you book your vacation, you would have to go in and answer maybe like a 50-question form, all your likes, your dislikes, your fantasies, all your different movies you love, all the different kind of stuff like that. And the way they track your band and they say, hey, Dizney Dan, welcome to Expedition Everest or the Rock and Roller Coaster, tonight performing Dizney Dan, as you go, the band would interact with all your fantasies and it would come true in that virtual world. How cool would that be? That'd be
Holy cow. And the same thing could be done to your hotel room.
Yeah.
I think you can go one step better, and Disney going with the questionnaire, and then the first question would be, are you a Disney fan? If no, you're not allowed. You've seen
That'd be so cool. Mind blown. Or you could even take it off the menu. Like you don't even so you can go that route, or you have the menu route. Like, okay, I woke up and all right, what are we gonna do today? I want to see Star Wars. I want to go eat lunch with Disney Dan, and we want to have something from Beauty and the Beast, and we can for dinner we can go do have I don't know, eat with Mickey Mouse or whatever, whatever. It'd be so cool.
Mickey Mouse and Disney Dan in one day.
Yes,
You're
We would need a trackless ride for that. Bring us all those places.
I love trackless rides. I can't wait to go on a new trackless ride.
A trackless ride from restaurant to restaurant.
Exactly.
Because if you don't know, Dan loves food. So, Dan, is there anything else you could come up with food-wise for the fifth gate? We haven't gone down that road much. So,
Your chair has a mind of its own, a character of its own, and it will take you to different restaurants. Oh, with my movie storybook thing, right? So you go from the start to the, of Disney animation to the end. You sit in your seat. And you have how many Disney animation like that? 55. So it's a 55-course meal. And you go from animation to animation and choose something specific from each of those meals. And then depending on sort of the situation of your favorite Disney movies. So let's say your favorite Disney movie is Aladdin, and you finally get to Aladdin after you've eaten at 50 other restaurants. You finally get your full meal with like Aladdin's baklava and all that kind of stuff, and Genie's pot stickers, I don't know. And then you end up in Frozen 2, where it's like frozen desserts, like ice cream and that kind of stuff. And then because your chair is animated, you don't need to walk out because it will take you out for you.
As long as you don't see the Star Trek movie where they had Gawk. Do you know what Gawk is? It's like worms.
Yeah, you could go that route too. So.
If you go Lion King, you're gonna eat worms.
You go Lady and the Tramp for the spaghetti part.
Yet satisfying, let me tell you.
Down still thinks your 50-course meal isn't unreasonable.
What do you mean? It's never unreasonable. It's 55 courses.
Each course is half a bite, and so you get the variety.
Yeah. And you know what? When you get to like movies like Big Hero 6, where it's like Japanese and American food combined, that's now we're talking. Now we're talking. San Francisco sushi burgers.
That'd be awesome.
Fusion
persuasion.
Kyle says it sounds like Wally sit in a robo chair and eat. Yes. How about buying large chairs from Wally? Yeah, they both came up with the same idea too. Everyone came up with the idea.
Why hasn't there been a by and large chair invented by now?
Why haven't I got one? I think Russ is trying to tell us it's a bad idea.
Well, Russ, you can be first person invited to this.
Super Fluffy Eddie. That is a great name, Kelly. Kelly said your channel name is amazing, Super Fluffy Eddie.
Yeah.
Funny.
Great name. Super Fluffy
Yeti. And Super Fluffy Yeti has the image of the Yeti. I just wanted to go, welcome to the Himalayas.
That's awesome.
Snowcone?
We're at about a quarter after, and I know somebody's going live here shortly, so I think we should. Yeah, not Dan. It's late for this man. So, guys, one more time, just for anyone who didn't see, we were talking about this fictitious park called the Fifth Gate, where these lands were ideas that Rob and Jim and I came up with initially, and Dan added, I think, probably one of the coolest ideas I've heard in a while, literally going through that kind of a experience from, beginning to end, from a historical centering on Walt, all the animation. I just loved it. So
good.
We are wrapping up season 1. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you very much for joining me, and I want to go around the horn and just say, tell us again who you are, what you're doing, and so Dan, we'll start with you.
Before I do all that, I just want to say thank you, for inviting me, and it's been really such an honor to be on with you guys. And when you invited me to do the Fifth Gate, I was really truly honored, and this was so much fun. Like, I love doing this sort of armchair imagineering and thinking about the future and thinking about what we would want, and it's kind of stuff I sort of became a passionate of, for such a long time. So I'm really grateful for you guys inviting me on. So thank you, really, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bit about me, bit of live streaming, bit of vlogging, bit of tweeting. No, I'm kidding. Disney Fiasco is my main show, 7 p.m. Eastern, coming up to episode 97. So that's going to be...
Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you very much. It's been a long road, but a fun road, and thank you for all who've been guests on the show before. All of you have been guests, and it's been an honor to have you there. And we've got something big planned for episode 100. So we will be announcing that soon. And then my new show, Disney Movie Review with Walt from Mousetalk, where we choose a random movie out of my Tyrion Lannister Funko Pop thing. Awesome. I don't know why I chose it out of all things, but hey ho, I needed a bowl and I didn't have one, so I went with the box. And so this week is going to be Beauty and the Beast. So we're going to be reviewing Beauty and the Beast, the animation and the live actions, and that will be at 6 p.m. Eastern, so same time as the show went live today, but on Sunday. Disney Nuts on Thursday with me and the Adventures of Gonzo, 5 p.m. Eastern, where we do our Disney trivia and just do news and all that kind of stuff.
I love that name, Disney Nuts.
Disney Nuts, my Nuts Nation. And Disney Food Fridays on Fridays, and try and get other vlogs in as well. So very, very busy, and then all the other live streams that's happen along the way, and which I'm very grateful to be a part of. So yeah, busy man, but I'm enjoying every moment.
Well, thank you for staying up for us, Dan.
Thank you for changing, bringing the time a little earlier. I really do appreciate it.
Well, good.
Oh yeah. Glad to.
And go subscribe to all these guys. Don't subscribe to me. Subscribe to all these guys, because these guys are wonderful, wonderful people, wonderful channels, and
thank you, Dan.
They deserve all the success. So yeah,
sweet.
Thanks, Dan. Jim.
Thank you for the kind words, Dan, and thank you, Dean, for hosting this again. So much fun, and Dan's idea was amazing. You asked me if you thought it was a bad idea to invite him. I said yes. I regret saying that. No, I'm kidding. Listen, everybody, I want everybody to, when this stream ends, I want you to go to the bathroom and then come back and then go to my channel, because at 7:30 I'm going live. It's a quick show. My Tuesday night show is only about half hour, 35 minutes long usually. I'm the opening act for Mouse Talk, so I like to keep it that way. But we have fun. I just talk about nonsense. I've been doing a top 15 Disney. Usually it's a Disney top 15 list every week. So I've got another one coming up in just a little bit. And then Saturdays, I've been, through the urging of my friends at D&G Explorers, weeks ago I had come up with a list of Disney movies I just have not seen. I should have seen them by now, but I just haven't. And it was a list of 15 movies. And I am slowly checking off each of those movies. And on a Saturday, D&G and myself, we get together and talk about it. And I like to make fun of those movies. Actually, I like some of them. So all of it's in good fun, though, with love. But not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, I believe the 27th of June, is where we'll be talking about a Goofy movie and The Fox and the Hound. So I've recently seen both of those, so I have some thoughts. One I liked more than I thought I would, and one I liked less than I thought I would.
Tune in to find out.
That's right. Yeah. And then, as I said at the beginning of the show, I plan on going live in the afternoons a little more often this summer, just to get my watch hours. So that's my shameless watch hours plea for everybody. Come watch my live streams. And coming up very soon, I'll be demonstrating my 360-degree camera in the software. So I'm very excited about that. But again, Dean, Rob, Dan, thank you so much for
great season. Thanks, guys.
Letting me join you.
Very cool.
Well, thank you, Jim. Rob, my partner.
I'm Robfuz. My channel, is Robfuz. Just do a lot of retro stuff. I go live every Friday. This Friday I'm gonna have Dan, and I'm gonna have Frankie of Frankie Friday. So out of quarantine, Frankie's coming back, and definitely check out the Live Place, theliveplace.com, and this channel, the Live Place. Hit the subscribe button. And Dean's awesome too. Thank you so much, Dean, for a great 6 episodes. I had so much fun, and I appreciate you guys. And definitely check out the all great channels. I love these channels, so check them all out. That's it. That's all I need.
All right. Well, Rob, the DJ, thank you, sir. Thank you for being here, Rob. I was able to lean on Rob because
You did an awesome job.
He's great at running these collabs. He knows how to make it happen between people. He knows how to interact. So he helped a lot in that regard. Obviously, Jim, it's always a pleasure to collab with you. I had the good pleasure of hanging out with Jim, and I was telling Arnie the other night that I'm going to drag you out to California because I want to go meet up with those guys. And Rob and Dan obviously would be great to have you there as well. And Dan, you have been one of the longest live streamers that the Live Place has had, and you have been faithful, and you are a rock star, sir. Thank you for being here.
You give me too much praise, my friend.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. I mean, it's all been for you're the heart and soul of all of this. Everything wouldn't have happened if it weren't for you in the Live Place. So, you deserve all the success, and having seen it from a few Live Play streamers to now over 100 to 110 now.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful achievement, and I think we're all proud of you and what you've created.
Well, thank you very much, and it's humbling to hear that. I really do appreciate it. I noticed Road Trip Dave just hopped in, wanted to say hello to my partner, and he's great live streamer. If you obviously all know Dave and Michelle the Quilter. There was many of the new cruising live streamers in the chat today. Thank you for joining us, by the way, out in the chat. It's always good to see many faithful people joining us. It obviously just means nothing if you don't join us. And so we appreciate every comment, every time you hit that like button. It means a lot to us. So thank you very much. Again, I'm from the Live Place, obviously, because it's my channel. I go live on Sunday nights at 8 o'clock with a different thing every week. And this coming Sunday, by the way, I'm interviewing Myers and the Mouse for this interesting concept where I combine a podcast with a live stream. So check it out. Hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. So thanks again, guys. Thanks again, everyone out there. And we will see you again in the future.
Hi, guys.
See you later.
See you in 8 minutes.